Well, that's no good. Time for something new. Welcome back to the shop today, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I was getting ready to do a sheet, cut a sheet here on my CNC Plasma cutter. Awesome machine. If you want to see the build, got them up here. Anywho, don't mind the bag. That's my waterproofing. But this thing finally gave out on me. And for you fellow DIY CNC or plasma cutter guys, this piece probably looks familiar. This is from, what's it called? That is a 3D printed part, and you can download it for free on Thingiverse. Worked well. It's obviously my second one. I've had one that I've busted in the past, but mainly the main part that breaks is this piece right here. I actually ended up making this out of aluminum and bolting it to it, which has been awesome. But these just don't hold up very long. For the hobbyist, it's fine, but I've been running this machine hard, boys. Because I think once you have it, you find ways to use it, whether that be business-wise or just personal-wise. Like, I don't grab the angle grinder anymore. I'll rather just draw it up and cut it on here. It saves a ton of time. But that being said, these 3D printed parts, they work, but sorry, I'm just gonna adjust my camera here. Something's not right. There we go. They work, but like I said, for a hobbyist machine, probably no big deal. But I need something better. I'm not sure what the plan is yet, but I'm gonna build a better floating head switch for my Z-axis. So stick with me. So I was pondering about this whole thing, and I started getting really crazy, but then I realized it's like, why reinvent the wheel? This setup, I did like it. There was a lot of things about this I did like. So I'm going to basically remake this thing out of aluminum. It'll be slightly different, maybe a little bit bulkier, but it's going to be all out of aluminum. So I went through my scrap pile, got some chunks of 1/4 inch, some 5/16, some half. I got this 1/2 inch square bar. I don't know if I'll use that. I also found this behemoth. Look at this. It's like an inch for sure an inch by 2, inch by 3. Solid aluminum. I actually have no idea how I got that, but I have it. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to reuse the 2 rods, the 2 springs. I might need some heavier springs. And I'll pull the bearings that were in here out. These are, actually I probably can pull them out because it's cracked. Linear bearings. Going to do the same type of setup out of aluminum. Shouldn't be hard, right? So I'm going to cut some pieces, fit some pieces, get a plan going, And then I'll bring you back and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Got a few things cut. So this is what I'm looking at. This is my base plate. I'm having this piece go right about here. This piece right about here. There. And there. There's going to be holes drilled lengthwise through these guys to hold these bearings. And then there's going to be holes drilled in these guys to hold these rods. And those 2 units will slide up and down, and I'm going to make a top plate. Kind of makes sense? Maybe? I don't know. Just going with the flow here. So I'm going to drill some holes and I'll bring it back. So I got some pieces together here. So this is kind of what we're looking at. You can kind of see the resemblance of of this old one, using the same bolt pattern here. And it's the same principle. And then these guys slide up and down. This one gets a little tight at the top, but I don't think I'll need that much travel. About halfway. I just need a little bit of a, how do I do this here? I just need about that much. Probably not even, and it only gets tight right about here. And to compensate for that, I actually put a shim in here underneath this block. And to do that, I just used a pop can, just to give it a little bit of height to clear these guys up. So, anywho, now I have to drill the holes in these guys to bolt to this. This is gonna be our top plate that goes up and down. Now, I'm gonna have to run on the edge because I have the bearings in the middle. So I'm gonna mark these out, drill them, tap them, drill and tap, sorry, not tap, just drill, countersink in here. And I'm gonna screw that plate on. And then I can work on the actual torch holder. This was my old one. Just did it out of some scraps. Kind of missed the hole there if you can't really tell. Anywho, I didn't like this design. It was kind of almost too tight. So I think I'm gonna go a little bit more of a C-channel kind of clamp apparatus. I don't know. You'll see it when it's done. But anyways, I'm gonna mark this up, drill some more holes. And yeah, hopefully get this thing together because I kind of need it. Okay, so I got that plate mounted. You can kind of see it here. Yeah, like I said, it gets a little tight at the top. Shouldn't be too much of an issue though, because this is more than I'll need. And there'll be some springs in here in this pocket to spring it back, a lot like this old one was. Don't ask me why that hole didn't match up. It just didn't. I don't know where my measurements were, but they were not accurate. But that's okay. So I know I said I wanted to do a different type of clamp. I might actually do this again. Just thinking about it again here, I can make one of these a lot faster than the other plan I had in mind. I don't know yet. It'll either be something similar to this or it'll be two halves where it clamps together with two bolts. I don't know. The reason I wanted to do that clamp is because I want to mount one at the bottom to hold the torch I have now. But if I were to go to a machine torch, I need it taller, so I need to put a second one up here. So that's the plan. And when I do the machine torch, I'm going to have to do more of a clamp. This kind of style will not work. But I might do this for now. I don't know. I'm going to draw it up. I found some more scrap 1/2 inch here. And I'm going to just doodle on it until I find something I like. So I'll bring you back when I got that cut. Okay, so I cheated a little bit. In the essence of time, I reused this piece. I cut it up to make it work with how I wanted to do it. I'm just doing that for right now. As I'm making this video, I had 2 other orders come in, and I really need to get this thing back up and going. So I'm just going to do this for now. Not overly pumped about that. I kind of wanted to do a better job for you guys. But duty calls, really. So this will do for now. I'm going to work on these guys off the machine because I can. I don't need them. I don't need this plate to make that. So I'm just doing that for right now. So sorry, but I'm going to have to do that. I have it in pieces here. Here's my bearing blocks. The bottom bearing rod holder, I guess I'll call it. Top one, the shim for it. I'm going to put this thing together with the springs on it. I might need to space the springs a little bit, so I'll work on that. I'm going to get this thing more or less assembled, and then I got to figure out how I'm going to mount the limit switch. By limit switch, I mean floating head switch. It's this little micro switch right here. I might put a new one on. This one's seen some miles. But I got to figure out where I'm going to mount this thing and how I'm going to do that. So I'll figure that out. I'll get it assembled. We'll bring you back, and hopefully it'll be done because I need to get going. Figured I'd give you, show you this as well. So I got those springs in there. I got 2 little spacers. And so now they spring back nice. A little bit of tension on there. So that should work pretty well. And I don't know what I did, but the hard spot on this side went away. So I don't know. Maybe I had something misaligned. I don't know. But it fixed itself. So that's cool. So I'm going to get the top plate on and I'm going to mount it to the machine. So stick with me here. So I got that micro switch mounted. I just mounted it right to the side here. And nice and tight. That way it doesn't have to move so much. My last one, it had to move quite a bit for it to work, and I didn't enjoy that. Mounting it this way, the one downside is that if this switch breaks, it's going to break that switch. But I'm not too worried. I get bags of 10 of those things for like, I think it was like $12 or something like that. So not too worried about that. And plus these switch, I've had good luck with these switches. So now I am going to put this guy onto the machine. Might clean this up a little bit. You can see where the other one was. This guy should match up. Should be ready for the races. So I'm going to get this bolted on. We'll do a little test fire. So I got it installed. Here she is. Looks a lot nicer than a 3D printed one, I'll tell you that much. And of course, I didn't think of everything. These wires were coming through a hole that is now behind this unit. Oh well. I'll just worry about cleaning these up later. Like I said, I want to do a machine torch here one day, but for now it's working quite well. So we'll just do a little test here. See if I can get a good shot here for you. Comes down, set, and ready to roll. I think it's a job well done. Works, which is the number one thing, and I'm hoping it's going to last 10 times longer as the 3D printed ones. So anyway, that was kind of cool. It was fun to do this without any machines. Well, besides the lathe. A buddy of mine lathed those bearing holes for me. Other than that, it was all done with hand tools. Could have done a nicer job with a mill or something like that, but I don't have those things. So anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. That always helps. I know I'm still a small channel, but I don't post videos nearly as much as I should, and I apologize for that. And I'm going to try working on my, video quality, Sometimes I get so wrapped up in what I'm doing, I forget that I'm trying to make a video as well. So anyways, thanks for sticking with me, guys. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate that. Like I said, subscribe, hit the like button, comment. I'll see you on the next one. See ya.